I had this dream long time ago, maybe in 2019, when I was traveling. I was currently in Thailand, and I was visiting all the beautiful sites, all the temples, all the Buddha statues, all the culture. I was seeing a lot of differences and a lot of kind of opening. That was when I first began to really seek that solitude of traveling solo and really tapping into the magic of what it means to travel, really what it means to travel. And that was the first initial time in my life when I began to realize that travel is really what my soul is good at. I believe our souls are really excellently equipped to travel places, whether it's from place to place, from body to body, from creature to creature, from planet to planet. Whatever is inherent within me, like whatever my spirit, my soul is, whatever my imagination makes that out to be, seems like when I travel, when I'm on the road, it is that part of me becomes nourished in a way. And there's many things that people say, there's many poets speaking about this. When a person travels, he really is a person. And that's really what the most genuine thing that you could be is on the road, not knowing exactly where you're going, but just being in the state of travel, and I'm sure some of you guys could relate to that by remembering a time when you were going somewhere, for example, when let's say a vacation, or maybe it was something unplanned, maybe it was something sudden, but you just being on the road, like you not really so much about arriving to the place that you desired or that you targeted, but more like about the state of being while you were traveling. So I want you guys to kind of think about this time in your life where you were just sitting in the car, whether it's going to work or whether it's going on vacation or somewhere, not knowing where. Imagine that is the place where the soul likes to be. So people often speak about, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, right? It's about the traveling. It's about getting there, but never really arriving, right? Arriving where? To what? What are you trying to achieve, right? What are you trying to achieve that you don't really have right now? That you don't really feel right now, right? What are you trying to gain that's going to make you feel a certain way that you don't feel now? And that's really the beauty and how I began to realize the inherent ability of the soul to travel. And once I realized how good the soul is at doing that, I began to dive deeper and deeper into this whole travel. I purposely planned destinations where I didn't know where I would be going. I just trusted the voice of the soul, and I wanted to really feed my soul. I wanted to heal my soul. I wanted to feel and connect my body with my spirit and align my soul. And I've always listened to people finding their purpose and meaning in life. And I always believed that. I always had faith that there was something more than me just merely existing and surviving and going through mundane tasks of life and being sloshed against the walls of life, left and right, ups and downs, being just emotionally exhausted and on this roller coaster of life. And people always say, life is just a series of ups and downs. We have to equip ourselves to handle it better, right? That's really what it is. Life doesn't really get any much easier. We just become better equipped at handling life. And once I realized that I didn't want to be freaking launched left and right on these epic walls of life, I wanted to learn and and prioritize becoming more efficient, becoming better equipped. Equip me, sir. Equip me with abilities to handle life. And that's 7 or so years ago is when I started really digging deep into the inner work that it takes, into aligning myself, my soul, my footsteps that I walk with everything that exists around me. And it's really it's a deep work. It was my own hell that I had to walk through, and the journey felt so lonely at times and so desperate. I felt hopeless at times, and I really felt like nobody else in the world, in this universe, was going through any of that. And I was really afraid. Because I didn't know how to do it. Nobody taught me how to walk through my own flames, and nobody really gave me directions on how to do it. I just trusted that deep in my heart there was a little voice in my heart that kept whispering and kept inspiring me to take that route, take the unknown journey of travel, not knowing, embrace the unknown, and really just love myself. Really a journey of self-love in all aspects of myself. Dive deep into shadow work and all this stuff, but that's for another topic. Anyways, going back to my dream that I had while I was in Thailand. So usually things happen in our lives when we begin to approach things in a different way, in a different mindset. For example, I was so used to a routine, going to work and coming back and having a job, having a bunch of duties and all these assignments that I created for myself while I was in the States. But when I began traveling, my world really kind of opened up to where I had so much free time to do whatever the hell I wanted to do. And at times I got bored. At times I got too many things that I did during the day that I just exhausted myself doing them. And so one of those days when I was visiting all these temples and walking around, I was probably walking like 10, 12 miles a day at least. And I was like, I feel like taking a nap. And that was really something different that I hadn't done up to that point. I never really take naps. I thought naps were something like for old people. So I was on this travel, and I had a hostel at the time. So it was like really something out of my element. I was doing whatever I wanted, and then my body all of a sudden felt tired. So I listened to it like a little child would. And I was like, I'm gonna fucking take a nap now. So I go back to my hostel and put on the blinds, and that's when I had this dream. So this dream appeared to me. It was this individual it had the face of a Buddha and wearing a uniform. So maybe I was influenced by all the Buddha statues I was seeing, or whatever my surroundings were, right? Dreams are parts of our subconscious. So the statue comes in and it's wearing this uniform, and it tells me, when you cross the street, make sure you look both ways. And I'm here walking on the street as I speak. and it said, when you cross the street, make sure you look both ways. And the figure was about maybe like, I'd say at least 7 foot tall. It was definitely taller than myself, and definitely taller than the average human. So this figure was bigger. And all I did in my dream is, I remember it perfectly clear. I was touching that person or that figure just to make sure that it was real, and it felt real. It was like I was more curious about what that person was than to what he was telling me. And I was like, no, it's like, everybody knows that, everybody knows to look both ways. I was in that mindset, right? I was in like, oh yeah, I know everything, and that type of thing. And this figure repeated himself again, and he said, when you cross the street, make sure you look both ways. So then I teased him a little bit more. I was like, nah, it's like, come on, shut up, dude. You don't know what you're talking about. And then without saying anything else, this uniformed individual, he goes, let me get my boss. And I was like, okay, things are kind of getting a little strange here. And this is all in my dream. And he goes and gets his boss. And then his boss comes. And that was when things got really freaking scary for me. Like his boss comes. And I could even like tear up right now speaking about it, but his boss shows up, and his boss is twice the height that he was. So his boss is about 15 foot tall, huge, Buddha-faced individual. Maybe the Buddha himself. I don't even know what the fuck I saw. And immediately, before even speaking, my soul recognized what it had seen. And then my words just vanished. It was like somebody shut my mouth closed, like stitched it up like in the Matrix, and I could not fucking speak. Like, this dream felt so real, more real than anything I ever felt in real life. It was, my whole body was going in complete cessation, vibrating at such high energy that I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And it felt just as strong as any DMT experience that I had previously undergone. And I had some previous experience with ayahuasca or DMT where I got blown out of my body in complete darkness into the void. And this was purely endogenously created by my mind. So no drugs were involved in this process. It was the pure product of my mind. And then I began to realize, holy crap, our mind is able to reproduce all these states of being that we need at the certain moment. There's no inherent reason to take anything exogenously outside of myself. So at that point, I was like, I don't really need to be playing with any more ayahuasca or DMT or mushrooms or anything. You know, I was seeking the answers from those medicines, but at the same time, I realized that the body is actually inherently capable of producing what I need when I need it, as long as I listen to what my body tells me, as far as, okay, do something different, or take a nap when you feel tired, or maybe go take a different route on the way home from work. Things happen when I magically begin to have a different experience. Even now, as I'm walking, okay, can I walk forwards or can I switch it up and start walking backwards? Like, who designed the rules as far as how I should play my own jam, right? If I am the creator of my own reality, can I walk sideways and shuffle now? Like, I mean, are people gonna judge me and say shit and point fingers? Is that what I fear? Is that my biggest fear in the world? To people to point fingers? Say this motherfucker's crazy? Is that really what my biggest fear, holding me back to play my own song, right? And that's a lot of times that is, if people point fingers at us, then all of a sudden we begin to really feel not comfortable. And I understand why, because anytime a person points a finger at us, if I haven't done the deep work within myself to uncover all my shadows and really love myself, love myself with a primal love where I want to just eat myself and also eat everybody else that I see. When I love myself to that extent, with all my depth and all my shadows and all my insecurities and everything, it doesn't matter who the fuck points a finger at me. It's like, yo, bro, I've made more fun to myself than anybody else could ever possibly make fun of. And And then I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because I've already went through all these scenarios and questioned myself on all aspects and all different levels where it truly, I've laughed and I cried in my own shadows and my own insecurities, and really pampered my inner child and really loved myself and really laughed at myself and really judged myself and criticized myself to such radical points that anybody pointing the finger at me now, it's only a reflection of what they see, and everything will go back to them. So any judgment that comes my way would immediately be reflected upon the person that's judging himself. And I tell you, judgment, I've learned again, is one of those things that really inhibits our ability to receive information from the ether, from everything that we don't see with our eyes. So judgment is really the first step, and that is the first, almost like you have an antenna to receive information. And if you apply judgment, I mean, obviously to some level we're egos, right? We're human. We live in a human material world. We have to use our judgment to do things, right? But if you predominantly apply judgment in all your actions and all your thoughts and everything, then judgment begins to interfere with your ability to receive the information that's really meant for you. So when I was kind of walking and exploring Bangkok, when I really got tired and I had an intuition, my intuition told me to take a nap. I really didn't judge myself and be like, hey, what the fuck? I'm not, I'm not a person that takes naps. I really didn't judge myself, and I was like, okay, well, let's try it out, see what happens. see what happens. And then the way I interpret this whole thing, when I saw the Buddha in front of me, and I just melted into, I just lost it, and it felt like a lightning bolt struck me, and something happened that I couldn't really elaborately speak out and describe, and I'm really doing my best to describe what the hell happened. And I feel like I finally found the correct kind of the correct music to where I could speak out what happened to the best of my ability, obviously, and have that be enough. And the way I interpret that is okay, when you cross the street, before you cross the street, make sure you look both ways. So I'm gonna kind of wrap this up quickly now. We all have our pasts, and we all have the futures that we desire, or whatever else we want to manifest in life. And we have the present moment right now. So in a way, I'm interpreting this as, okay, I can look in my past experience, I could go ahead and look towards where I want to go, and I can remain now in the present. So I'm looking left and I'm looking right, and I am remembering both, and I'm bringing both of those experiences now in this moment. So I am who I am in the past, and I am also who I want to be in the future. And when I distort and not use my judgment to kind of overcome the fact that time is really what I attach to, because we so much attach to time, and we want to know when we're going to get something, or when we're going to achieve something, or when we suffered from something. And we're so damn attached to that feeling of when and time. And I realized once I stopped judging all of that and I begin to be above time, I begin to move at a rate that is really comfortable to me, that really puts me in a alignment with my soul. And I see travel now. I see travel everywhere. I mean, we travel infinitely through time and space. Maybe you're going to work, you're still traveling. Maybe you're going to see a friend, or I don't know, walking your dog, you are still traveling. And let this be a reminder that you could remember your past, envision your future, and when you're able to bring both of those things in the present moment is where the magic happens. Magic happens is when you forget about your past, forget about your future, just fully embrace this motherfucking moment right now. Right now. And dance to the beat of your own song. Dance to the beat of your own song, bro. And yeah, this is just a reminder. You know, this is a reminder about something that you most likely know already. You know, all the people that love me, they'll probably don't even need me to say that. And the truth is, most of the people that freaking don't like me, they'll never be able to understand what I'm trying to say. and what is life besides one big happening, right? So I just allow this to happen and let you interpret however you want to interpret. That's not my job to judge myself. I just know that there's some information that maybe came in through this body somehow. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what the reason is. All I know is that it really doesn't feel good to keep all this inside of me, and and I just need to let it out. So this is just my way of expressing, and really I don't give a fuck. This is just the way it is. It's one big happening. I love you guys. When you cross the street, make sure you look both ways before you do so. Make sure you evaluate, sit, and really just see what beautiful life or miserable life you live. Walk through your own hell and walk through on the other side. Know that everything happens for a reason. We all have purpose here. Oh, this store is closed. I wanted to go to this dive shop, but it's closed right now. Know that we all have a reason for being here, and it's all meant to be. So what it feels like now, I tell you, it's way different than what I imagined life to be like. Now that I feel more aligned, it feels good. It feels good to walk in my body. It feels good to speak what I have on my mind. It feels good to dance, even when people are watching. Not just only in the shower, and not only sing in the shower, but I mean, I even consider becoming a singer myself, you know, and you guys be the judge. Just tell me what song to sing. Tell me what song to sing and what song is appropriate for me, and I'll make the decision if that's gonna happen or not. But anyways, love you guys. Peace. Until next time.